Hey, how's it going, WBE fans? It is Journal Tario, one of your analysts for this season, and today I'm going to be doing another coach interview. And today I have my good friend, my buddy, old pal, Mr. Under the Radar, or Kelly. Would you like to say hi, Kelly?
Hi, Kelly.
Okay, you're just really just going to say hi, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome. Hi guys, I'm Kelly under the radar. I'm actually really excited for WBE this season. It's like one of those hyped up leagues ever, and I'm super pumped for it.
Yeah, I bet you are. For those of you who do not know, Kelly and I are really close friends, so this could be a pretty interesting interview, I feel like. Hopefully it has a little bit of humor to it.
I
Uh,
actually have no idea who you are.
oh yeah, sorry. I just pay you money to act like my friend. My bad. Uh, and V-Bucks. All right. So for you to get to know more about Kelly than what I already know about him, which unfortunately I know too much, I feel like, I have a list of questions here that I'm going to be asking Kelly for y'all to get to know him as a viewer and a fan of the WBE, so you can check out all his videos for the season and be really hyped for the rest of the season. What do you think about that, Kelly?
I like views. I was gonna say something else, but then I don't know why. I was gonna say I like that idea, but then for some reason the last thing you mentioned was checking out all the videos, so I instantly went to views, and I was just like, I like
Perfect.
views.
Perfect. It shows how live this is, and none of it's going to be edited. Anyways, all right, kicking off the interview. First, Mr. Under the Radar, what is your team name for the WBE, and how did you come to think of the team name and the logo?
Okay, so my team name is the Maryland Torterrapins, and I thought of the name because whenever I did draft leagues back in X and Y, wow, that was so long ago. Um, I was the Baltimore Braviaries, and then I realized that I hated alliteration name, even though like it was a bird, and Baltimore Ravens is what it was based off of. And I started looking into colleges I wanted to go to, and I was like, I really want to go to Maryland, and like I wanted to go to their law school. And I noticed that they had a terrapin as their logo, and I was like, I want to figure something out to make this like a really cool team name. And I was thinking of like all of the turtle Pokemon, and surprisingly, not that many. I was going to go with like Tortuga and uh, everything, like everything that didn't have anything to do with like really cool turtles. And then I was like, wait, Terrapin, it's perfect. And I was like driving, and I like swerved off the road a little bit, and I instantly went home and had somebody make me the logo.
Perfect. It's a really good process of going to that logo. Not. I'm a little surprised that you honestly didn't go straight to Torterra, because Torterra is probably the coolest turtle. But
Yeah, but if I tell you, name me all of the cat Pokemon.
all right, so to the next question.
I'm just like for real. Like you would forget that like Purloin, that's a cat,
I know
and
that.
it's so like it just didn't come to me, and I'm
That's
a little
fair.
stupid, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Same dude. All right. So Kelly, when did you start playing Pokemon, and which game is your favorite and why?
I actually played Pokemon all the way back in Gen 1. Um, I remember I got Gen 1 and Gen 2 at the same exact time, but I played Gen 1 first, so I'm still going to consider myself a Gen 1er, and I'm legit, and if you don't like it, fight me. Um, Favorite games. Wow. That's really hard. I would say Gen 4. And I would only say Gen 4 because it has the most replayability in my mind. I remember playing it so many times wherever I would use like the Game Shark, and I would give myself the walk through walls ability, and I would skip all the way to get Shaman like right away and play the entire game with a Shaman, and then get a Darkrai and play the entire game with a Shaman and Darkrai, and that's it. So that like I just remember that so vividly. So
I can agree
definitely Gen
so
4.
much for that, dude. Like I remember using my Game Shark and just doing whatever I wanted. I remember catching Cynthia's Garchomp and just laughing at her face, and just doing everything you want. And also, I really love the mining in Gen 4, and I hope they bring it back at one
Oh
point, so
yes.
much. But we'll just have to see.
Also, Gen 4 had the best fossil Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't even think you can
Mm.
argue.
I also like Gen 5 with Archeops and Caracosta, but I think Gen 4 Rampardos is still better. But
Yeah, I just think Archeops is so ugly.
it's a bird. All right. So, what is your favorite Pokemon? It doesn't have to be in competitive. It could just be in general. It could just be looks. But which Pokemon is Under the Radar's favorite?
Linoon, 110%. Um, so this is actually for a couple different reasons. It started back whenever I drafted it for P4G, and it beat four coaches in a row, I think, or something like that. And then I drafted it in another league in like XBL, and it beat like three coaches in a row there. So it was like 7 games in a row. It had like 27 kills for me. It was so unbelievably amazing. I loved playing with it. And then like that made it my favorite. But then like thinking back to it, I remember playing through Emerald and having a Linoon on my team like all the way through the Elite Four. So it's like, and that wasn't an HM slave or anything like that. Like I actually enjoyed the Pokemon. So definitely Linoon, such a cute Pokemon.
There was no surprise there, to be completely honest, on my end. I was fully expecting to hear Linoon. Alright. So, when did you start playing competitive Pokemon?
X and Y. I had never even heard about competitive Pokemon through anything. I didn't know that there was like VGC, nothing. I just knew that there was a bunch of Let's Plays on YouTube, and whenever I was like 13, I would spend my weekends like replaying old Pokemon games and watching Let's Plays of like, Munching Orange and stuff like that. So whenever X and Y came out and I heard that it was easy to play competitively, I was like, I can play this game competitively. How do I do it? And I remember watching like Shofu's videos on how to breed with Talonflame and stuff like that. And that just made like everything perfect in X and Y. So that's the first competitive game I played, which is pretty cool.
Beautiful. That's when a star was born, everyone. So, what was a heat set that you brought and did it work out well? What is the most memorable heat set that you can recall?
Oh, I'm sorry, Crimson Seabad. Okay, so was it X and Y or Oras? I brought Curse, Baton Pass, Sylveon, and I set up to +6 in front of a Chansey, and then I Baton Passed into a White Herb Talonflame, and that means that I had +6 attack, +6 defense. Back in Gen 6, Gale Wings was like busted, and it was always priority. And then the White Herb fixed my -6 speed, so I was stupid fast. I was stupid strong, and it literally just 6-0 swept. It was the best thing I ever thought of in my entire life, and I never thought it would work.
Capital D colon, everyone. Capital D colon. Can we get an F in the chat for Crimson Seabad?
F in the chat.
But yeah, you basically just cheated around, just bulk up Talonflame, and just like said, "Nah, I'm gonna do it a cooler way."
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
it.
and so like it's like the main reason was he had a Mega Sableye and a Chansey core, and I was like, okay. I was like, I want to take advantage of this. So setup was the first thing that came to mind, but I didn't want to do it with Talonflame because with rocks, it was super hard. It was super easy to just get me down to 50%.
Of course.
And I wanted to have White Herb like help me like get like acrobatics more powerful instead of Brave Bird.
Smart.
So it was perfect.
Genius. This is why I come to him for help. Just saying. So who would you say has influenced you the most in T building?
Ooh, two people come to mind immediately. Actually, three. So Miguel, I think he was like one of the original speed creeping geniuses that like I don't remember anybody speed creeping before Miguel personally. And then after that, Gypsy King and Joel, they really helped me understand that you hardly ever have to max attack in anything. You hardly ever need to run. You hardly ever need to run like nothing in a stat. Like there can be some EV somewhere that will help you do something. And so whenever I learned that a 2 KO is going to be a 2 KO no matter what, whether I'm 252 or 100. So why not run the 100, make me a little bit bulkier? I still pick up my 2 KOs and I can potentially live some more hits. It like that changed my team building, and Jolt was the one who told me that first, and then Gypsy King really helped like ingrain it into my mind.
For sure, dude. A lot of people just don't realize that. Some people still out there with their 252 sets. Get it together, people. Do your calcs. That's all we gotta say for team building. The calcs really do matter. But those are definitely some amazing people to look up to when it comes to team building. Some of the strongest in draft league format for sure, and like the history of it. Unfortunately, I have to say history because of Miguel, but he will make his
Yeah.
return one day, I believe.
I pray.
All right, if you could unban one or more Pokemon for this WBE season, what would it be and why?
Um, I would I would unban Genesect and Lando I. Maybe Deoxys Speed. I would unban those three because I actually think that all of them are good, like just in general draft format.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that they all have very uh I don't want to say easy weaknesses to take advantage of, but they all have weaknesses that can be
Exploitable.
punished. Yeah, they can be exploited very easily. Like Lando with Ice Shard, with just HP ices on walls. It typically can't touch really bulky psychic types. That makes that pretty easy to deal with. Um, Genesect with base 99 speed and a quad weakness to fire. Typically, most Scarfers will outspeed it, and things like like off the top of my head, like Scarf Garchomp. You just run like Fang and you can deal with it. Setup Mons, just one Dragon Dance. If it's like over base 100, it can typically deal with it. It's like Salamence, things like that. And then Deoxys Speed, I think, is the one that's like most on the edge. And that's just because it can do pretty much whatever it wants and it can outspeed everything in the entire game. Like it outspeeds with no investment. I think it's Choice Scarfed Garchomp. It's something like that.
Really fast Pokemon for sure. I know I want to use Deoxys Speed in one league eventually. Hopefully somewhere will allow it. Maybe it's a league that you will host just so I can actually try it out.
I probably not.
Dang. Well, gotta be looking for more leagues. Alright, so which Pokemon would you make better or worse, and how would you do so?
Give me 1 second. I'm actually really curious as to how fast Deoxys Speed is now.
Oh my god, you're a nerd.
I'm sorry. Don't hate me.
I'm not hating you, the viewers are hating
Yeah,
you.
like so it actually outspeeds. Like if you run Timid Max Speed, it outspeeds like Choice Scarf Garchomp. Okay, so anyway, say that question one more time. I'm sorry, Ben.
Which Pokemon would you make better or worse, and how would you do so?
I would make. I'd make Empoleon better, and I would give it Roost.
Ooh, I like that.
That is so there's so many Pokemon that I think are amazing and like with one move would make them busted. Like Dragon Dance Garchomp busted. But Empoleon, it wouldn't make it busted, it would just make it a top tier wall. And I think it would be amazing with Roost. I would never let MV draft it again. I would take it round 2 almost every draft.
Rest in peace, Envy. You would no longer get it. I agree, though. Empoleon with Roost would be absolutely amazing, and since it is a bird, you would think it would get it. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen. But is there any Pokemon that you would actually want to make worse? Like a Pokemon that you just hate so much that you just want it to be nerfed?
Mega Charizard X, and I would take away its Tough Claws ability.
All right, so this interview is over. Thank you for joining me today, and goodbye, everyone.
Okay, okay. So I actually have a real reason for it. So Mega Charizard X, I've been swept by it. I've also swept by it. Like I've swept using it multiple times.
Mhm.
And whenever I draft it, I've always found that it's so centralizing in my team building that I always want to bring it. And whenever I'm facing it, I find that I always have to build around it so specifically. Because it's so centralizing, I just want it gone. Like I don't want to have to deal with that Pokemon anymore. Like it's just an annoyance to me.
That's fair. That is my baby. For those of you who do not know, I reacted like that because that is the mascot for my team. It is my favorite Pokemon in general, and I love it dearly. So, so that's a little upsetting, but that just shows Kelly and I's relationship. Um, but I'm not too surprised because it is a really busted mon. It's just really strong in general. So I understand where you're coming at with that entirely. So, but going into a draft with 28 coaches, what were you thinking going into that, and did you like the outcome of your draft?
I oh Wow, that's a really good question. I didn't approach any differently than I do any other draft. So typically I look at what I want to draft around and I try to build a theme. Drafts are released by this point, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you
is
can
this one
share
like,
however much you want. It will be after your draft analysis video.
okay, sweet. So typically, like, if I go into a draft, I say, okay, I want to draft like Mega Charizard X. How do I want to build around it? I want to build around it with Veil, and then I build around it with that theme. For this one, I was like, whenever it got to me, since I was like very early on, I was like, okay, whatever I take, I'm gonna try to build a theme around it. I got Zygarde, and I was like, okay, snakes. I want to draft as many snakes as possible. Turns out I didn't get like a bunch. I wanted like regular Gyarados. I wanted Arbok. I wanted Electros. I wanted a bunch of other snakes, and I just didn't get them. It's whatever, but I'm still really happy with the way that the team came out. It has literally everything that I want, so I'm very happy. But I went into it the exact same.
Yeah, it's always nice to have like a theme with teams, just so it actually has more fun to when you're drafting it instead of just drafting like just the most OP stuff that you can find and everything like that, just to spice it up every now and then. But that was very smart where you're going at with the snakes.
I also like planned out the entire draft the second that I knew that we were drafting. Like, I didn't play it one by one. I
Mhm.
literally had the entire draft
Oh, I know.
done. And I had multiple different plans for it. So I just it was the exact same thing as any other draft. It was great.
Yep, for sure, because I got images of all of those plans, and I just share my opinions. All
Yep.
right. So, what are your expectations for this season of WBE?
Playoffs. That's my expectation for every season I'm in. That's all I can hope for. Once I'm in playoffs, I've done what I have set a goal for myself to do. I realize that there's a bunch of amazing, phenomenal players and people in this league. So for me to say that I want to win it all, while yes, it is true, I want to win it all, it's unrealistic. Like Envy, Joey, Gator, Wolfie, Dan, Leo, like there's so many amazing players that for me to say that I plan on beating every single one of them, it's unrealistic. But for me to say that I want to be among the best in the league, I think that that's a good goal for myself, and that's what I'm really aiming for.
Beautiful. All I'm saying is, you look pretty clean in that belt, though. Just
I
throwing it
would
out
look
there.
so clean in that belt. I even have room for it on my wall. I'm if
Not
I
gonna
win
lie, I
it.
thought you were about to say your waist.
No, there's too much Taco Bell for that.
True. All right, so what are you looking forward to most in Pokemon Sword and Shield?
Wow. Ugh. I'm looking forward to sitting down and finding themes among the Pokemon. So, what I mean by that, in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, every single Pokemon has poor base HP. Every single one of them, practically. And I really like, and they almost all have really poor speed too.
Mm-hmm.
So, so looking in and finding those themes to figure out where they fall in line with other drafts from previous gens. It's like, let's say this then we get a bunch of like really good HP, speedy offensive mons that can really fall in well with some of the bulky offensive mons we have from Gen 7, like Incineroar and Vikavolt and Araquanid, you know?
Clever, clever. Kelly is a fan of his themes, if you cannot tell.
I am.
But going into a next question with themes, actually. What type gym leader would you be, and what theme would you have for your gym?
Wow. I would be a normal type gym leader, 100%. And I would want my theme to be based off of schooling. So like almost college themed. So it's very similar to like the Gen 5 second gym, how it was like based off of a library.
Yep, that's what I was
And it
thinking.
was also normal type. I wanted to be like off of schooling and education. So that way whenever they come to me and I beat them down, they're
Oh,
learning a lesson.
oh, okay. Um, I'm intimidated. I don't want to get tutored by you anymore. Just kidding. You never tutored me in the first place. You let me suffer. At first I was thinking like, like Belly Drum Lanoon when you said normal. So I'm like, maybe you just had like a normal gym with like a bunch of food and it's just Belly Drum Snorlax and Belly Drum Lanoon as his two Pokemon.
Okay, no, I would want to be later on in the league, or yeah, like in the league, and I would want to have Linoon, Porygon 2, Diggersby, Lopunny, and then I would want to have like maybe a Snorlax or some other like really good normal type. I'm trying to think what's in it. Like an Audino, and I would wish pass, and I would want to be like the Blaze Black and Volt White gym leader. That's really what I want.
So would you have the Mega Stone on the Lopunny?
Yes, 100%.
So what you're telling me is that you want little kids to buy this game, have their parents buy the game, play almost all the way through it, get to the 8th gym, see your smug little face on a character, lose so hard that they cry and throw away the game?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, word. That's how the season's gonna go, guys. That's how he's gonna take care of all the coaches too. Not surprised, but that would be a terrifying team. Terrifying.
It'd be awesome.
All right. So, if you had to make a Fortnite squad with the coaches in the WBE roster, which 3 would you choose?
Wow. I would pick analysts allowed.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. I'd pick Boff, and I'd pick Dan, and I'd probably pick Tyler.
Leo's gonna kill you.
Okay, so like that was the last part that I was debating on, whether I would want Boff or Leo, but Leo just has kids that scream. Tyler is the one screaming. I can mute Tyler. I can't mute little kids. That makes me a jerk.
This is true. For those of you who do not know, Kelly, Leo, and I, as well as my fellow analysts for Pick'em CJ, we play Fortnite all the time, however you want to take that. And we just mess around so much, and Leo's a bot.
Yeah, it's funny because it's true.
Leo probably won't watch this video, but it's still funny anyways. Alright, last but not least, one of my favorite questions to ask people in the Pokemon community. I pick 3 of their favorite Pokemon, and I go off of it. So for your Pokemon, I decided to go with Linoon, Ninetales, and Monferno. I believe those are all 3 Pokemon that you highly appreciate. Is that correct?
I do.
Ooh, sweet. Now, which one would you make your partner? Which one would be your HM slave? And which one would you release?
Oh, man. So is this based off of like an old campfire game?
I have no clue what you're talking about. We're PG here.
Okay, partner would be... Oof. Partner would be Monferno. HM slave would be Linoon.
Of course.
And then I would release Ninetales. Now here, hold on. I have thought behind this. Okay.
Linoon's the GOAT HM slave. There's no thought behind it. He's literally a god.
I roll up to
for no reason
with a Monferno like gripping up my skull and shoulder and like looking like evil. That's threatening, you know?
Yeah.
A Linoon, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you have a Linoon, Pog, easy win," and I'm just like, "Well." So and plus Linoon learns like every single HM. Yeah. I can surf on him. The only thing I can't do is fly. That's the only thing I can't do is fly.
That's true, dude. That's true. And you still got your homeboy with you. Like even though he's an HM slave, he's there with you. He's just less important.
There. That's all that matters. It's kind of like Leo in Fortnite.
I hope you guys are enjoying this interview as much as we have. Because this is just about a normal call for us where we laugh this much.
I had tears in my eyes.
Alright, but I am unfortunately out of questions. So Kelly, is there anything that you would like to say or anything, I don't know, just a question you want to be asked, I guess?
No, but so real quick, I want to thank Dan for having me in the league. I'm super grateful. Thanks to like literally every other coach for being phenomenal and an awesome person and making this just a lot of fun to even just be around. And thank you for doing this amazing interview with me and joining me in call, Ben.
Anytime, buddy. Anytime. But unfortunately, guys, like I said, all out of questions here. But I had an amazing time talking to Kelly. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. Look forward to other coach interviews, of course, all the other videos that are going to be going up on the WBE YouTube channel, such as the Pick'ems crew, where you will see me and my friend CJ, as well as stuff like the power rankings, the replays of the week, hot plays, stuff like that. And as well as to make sure to check out every coach, all 28 coaches, not just half of them, check out all of them, and make sure to drop them a sub and look forward to all of their videos for the coming season, whether that be their team builders, their battles, or their draft analysis video from the beginning of the season. Since I'm done over tripping my words and we got this all done, Kelly, you want to say bye to the people?
Bye to the people. Also, shout out to you, Ben, for not having very many voice cracks. I'm proud of you.
I don't voice crack. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.